Good.
Oh, very nice. No, it's weird. Thank you. Who's starting?
It's like anyway. What we've seen Clarke play several different roles throughout the season. She's kind of, the doctor, daughter, then this last season a mother. What side of Clarke are we gonna see this season?
A completely different one.
Okay.
It's without giving away too much, it's certainly one of the most challenging things that I've ever had to do as an actor, and I've been in the TV industry for 20 years now, which is nuts. I think it's given me a chance to kind of expand my skill set and explore a different side of Clarke that I didn't really know existed.
Kind of going back to Monty's wish for them to be better.
Yeah.
Is that something Clarke can really do?
Well, I mean, JR says it in the trailer. It's like, I just don't believe that you can. I think, of course, it's something that they could do. But they just, our show, they come across so many obstacles. It's constant. And they do end up reverting to fight or flight, which I think is something she's really trying to avoid this season. She really wants, as an ode to Monty and Helga, to drill it into her people that we have to do better, otherwise they die for nothing. And hopefully they do that.
We've seen in one of the trailers, it seems like Clarke and Russell have a couple of interesting interactions. How much can you tell us about their dynamic going into this season?
One thing that I love about their relationship is that Clarke and Russell, they're both the leaders of their respective people, and Russell is, in charge in Sanctum, and Clarke is in charge of her people, or, has to take responsibility for her people. So she identifies with them, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they always see eye to eye, so there's a lot of conflict, but there's also a lot of mutual respect, which I find really interesting, and thank God JR has been such an incredible actor on the show. Doing scenes with him has been so fun, and I really can't wait until I can say more about it once.
Well, getting to play a character for 6 years, what would you say you've taken from playing Clarke over this amount of time, or what you've brought to her? It's a give and take situation. I've learned to be stronger through Clarke. I think I feel a lot more. Having played so many ditzy blondes, it was nice to, at a young age, at 23, to start playing someone who was a badass and in control and unashamedly, it was pretty amazing. And she's taught me to not second guess myself and to go with my gut, and it's okay to be vulnerable. You don't lose any strength through that. And then, I don't know, the opposite. What if I taught Clarke? Stop with the stabby and shooty. Just chill out, babe. Have a cocktail. Relax. I think you might see some of that in this season. Good.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you for everything you have done to support the women's rights.
Aww.
That's incredible, and that's why I brought you this little gift.
Oh,
it's the sky, the day you were born.
Wow, that's crazy. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
wow.
Sure. And my question is, when did you most disagree with Clarke? What was her biggest mistake, in your opinion?
I think, it's hard to say because, everything happens for a reason, all of that. But I think one thing that, because I'm not a mother, because I haven't been as fiercely protective of anyone in my life. I can't even imagine if my daughter was in this sort of situation that Maddie was in. I tried to play that to the best of my ability, but there were some decisions that I was like, you can't
do that, like, you know, leaving Bellamy in the fighting pits and, like, you know, all of that stuff. That was hard for me to read and go, oh, cool, you know. I was like, no. But I mean, again, that kind of added another layer to Clarke. That was a challenge, but it was all for the better, really, you know, and it helped her understand her mum. But yeah, that's the only thing that kind of grated on me, where I was like, she's doing all of this, like, you know, for the kid. And I'm sure when I'm a mum, I'll totally get it. Which I hope to get.
So we saw in the episode that they showed earlier that Clarke, amongst her own people, isn't the most liked at the moment.
No.
So how is that going to play out as the season goes on? How is she going to balance that with her people not really supporting her?
I think it's, you know, she's grown a very thick skin over the years, and over the last 125 years or whatever it is. And while it hurts, you know, she's gotten very good at compartmentalizing, going, okay, what's more important here? That is to survive and keep these people alive who hate me, but keep them alive, you know. And I kind of respect her for that. I mean, it's hard to be trying to lead a group of people who actively dislike you. But it makes her look at herself, and I think she really does step up to the task of going, okay, let's talk about it. What's your problem? Let's go. You know, and that's something you don't really see Clarke do very often. She usually presses on.
Like
She addresses things this season.
We saw that a little bit in the premiere episode with Shaw before his unfortunate demise.
Yes.
But yeah, she addressed it with him, so it was good to see her take that initiative.
Yeah. It's going to happen a lot more, for sure. Yeah.
And last question: are we all asked all the questions we
guys
needed?
good?
What's going on?
Sweet. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.